Hillary Clinton still really wants to be president, so much so that she's now joining the chorus of others sharing concerns about Joe Biden's age and stumbles. And if Joe Biden doesn't run again, suddenly that slot opens up, and guess who would be ready to serve on day one? Hillary Clinton. Hillary was asked about a recent Biden stumble going down the stairs in Japan, and before we listen to her response here, let's watch the Biden footage so that we can see what happened. This is Joe going down the steps in Japan. Couple stumbles there. A little bit of a close call. Catches himself, makes it, shakes hands. Whew. All right, close call. Now, I have another angle of this, which was very interesting, which is here, a little bit longer footage. And this, you're going to see somebody wave another person off who is maybe supposed to be escorting him down. We see this person right here who may be a security agent, security personnel, somebody who is a minder of Joe. We don't know. But then we have another individual who maybe is with the Japanese security who waves him off very briefly and just says, let him go, or don't follow him down because he's going to meet with my president. Something interesting happens. It's highlighted in red. Watch. Then we get up. Careful, Joe. Careful. Now, Joe does the thing where he tries to be confident, so he doesn't like to use the handrails. I'm young and spry and competent and don't have dementia, and I can lead a country. But we know that's not true, and it is interesting that he is still competent, or believes he's competent, in this maneuver. And this is an interesting hand wave. He's pushing somebody away. Don't come before Biden is let on his own. That could have been bad. Glad he caught himself, glad he is okay there, but people are concerned about it, and Hillary Clinton is one of them. Here is what she said when asked about this.
Every time that happens, your heart is in your mouth because these things could be consequential. Is that a concern?
Well, I mean, it's a concern for anyone. And we've had presidents who've fallen before who were a lot younger, and people didn't go into, heart palpitations. But his age is an issue. And people have every right to consider it.
Ooh.
But, he has this great saying, and I think he's right.
It is an issue.
Don't judge him by running against the Almighty, but against the alternative. And I am, of the camp that I think, he's determined to run. He has a good record that 3 years ago people would not have predicted would have gotten done.
What has he gotten done?
He doesn't get the credit yet that he deserves for what is happening out in the country in terms of,
So it is an issue, and people are right to have concerns about it, but trust his track record. And other people have fallen, and other people have had their own little spills. In fact, we remember when Hillary Clinton had a little bit of an issue herself, when she got thrown into the side of a van like a slab of beef during a prior presidential election. We remember this one. And then she walks out later, her body double.
How are you feeling, Secretary Clinton?
Oh, I feel great.
Are you feeling better?
I feel way better.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I feel much better now. This was Hillary, right here. Collapsed. And they just threw her in there. Like luggage. We know what the Democrats are willing to do for their nominees. But the question is, what do the American voters think about it? President Biden's getting some pretty terrible polls. AP tells us very low ratings on economy, guns, immigration, and everything else in the country. As he's embarking on his re-election campaign with Hillary Clinton salivating at the sidelines, just 33% of Americans say they approve of his handling of the economy. And that's a bad number if you're running for president, because it's all about about the economy, stupid. Only 24% say national economic conditions are in good shape, according to a new poll. Public approval of Biden's handling of an economy remains low. We've got high inflation, difficult housing market, concerns about a debt default. American opinion is gloomy about his efforts on guns, immigration. Only 31% say they approve of his performance on these issues. Overall, 40% say they approve of his job, similar to where he has stood for much of his previous administration. And so there's more. Over 60% of Americans think that Biden won't even make it through 2028. This is over from the Daily Caller. Say that a majority of Americans believe Biden doesn't have the ability to even make it. 61% said Kamala would end up taking over for Biden if he won a second term, which is not good for the Democrats because I don't think people like Kamala either. The number was higher among Republicans. 82% say, yeah, he's not going to make it. And the survey polled 2,000 Americans online over several days. 57% said they had doubts about his mental fitness. 65% saying he's too old for office. Biden's publicly addressed these concerns, but the polls are not looking good. And the question becomes, when do they decide to eject Joe Biden if it's looking like he's going to lose? And according to a new Harvard-Harris poll that came out on May 19th on Friday, Trump is up 47 over Biden's 40. Trump +7. They've got other results. Biden versus DeSantis is a tie, according to that. Haley versus Biden, Biden wins by 2. Trump-Harris, Trump wins by 11. DeSantis-Harris, tie. Harris-Haley, Harris wins. So we have very interesting numbers, probably causing an absolute earthquake and panic in the leftosphere. If these numbers are true, other people say maybe they want to run against Trump. They think Trump is actually the most beatable. But those numbers, if these polls are accurate, and you always take those with a grain of salt, show the opposite. Show Trump crushes Biden by 7 points if everything is allowed to operate fair and square. So pretty damning numbers, and this might be the response from the left. They're also pointing out, saying, well, yeah, maybe those are general polls, but in swing states, Trump is getting killed. Says whatever the panic is, they say that Trump is getting crushed in swing states. Nearly all of the 15 gathered swing state voters described feeling negative emotions when they saw Biden on television. They say that Biden is terrible, concerned, confused, worried, sad, even panicked. Every single one said they wished Biden and his old Republican were not running. But as the focus group steered this conversation on, the mood shifted. They cast ballots for Trump in 2016, Biden in 2020. 9 of the 15 said they would vote for Biden. 3 said they'd go back to Trump, and others would not vote at all. The results show that essentially as much as people don't like Biden, the Washington Post says they don't like Trump more, especially in swing states. And so things will be close. The big question will be whether Joe Biden continues to run or whether they eject him from the game so that people like Hillary can jump in. And maybe it's not just Hillary. Maybe it's Newsom, Buttigieg, others want to get in there and take charge. We'll see.